Good morning. Our 2022 Color a Brighter Future event will begin shortly. Hi, I'm Dana Robinson with Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter is proud to be the presenting sponsor of this special event because just as we understand how important it is to make sure our students' bellies are full, we also know how important it is to ensure that our students and teachers are equipped with the supplies that they need every day in the classroom. We're so excited that you're here to join us, and we thank you for your support of Classroom Central. My team and I are having a watch party, and we can't wait to get started. So sit tight, and we'll see you at 8 o'clock.
Good morning. My name is Karen Calder, and I'm honored to serve as the Executive Director of Classroom Central. Before getting started, I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Harris Teeter, and all of our generous sponsors for making this event possible. And thank you for being with us today. Our time together will be brief but impactful, so I invite you to really be present with us this morning. I promise you'll be glad you did. And before we leave today, we'll invite you to join us in continuing to positively impact thousands of lives by investing in our mission. This year marks Classroom Central's 20th anniversary, 2 decades of equipping teachers and students in need with free supplies. And boy, have we grown. We've gone from serving 1 school district to 6, and from 36 schools to over 200 today. We opened with just 1 program, our free store, and now we have 4 programs that equip teachers and students to succeed. And since opening, we've placed more than $74 million worth of supplies back into area classrooms. Along the way, we've stood by teachers through so many challenges. Our organization was conceived by the Charlotte Chamber of Commerce on the heels of 9/11. We persevered through the financial crisis of 2008 and the Great Recession that followed. And in 2020, we watched as the pandemic closed schools and remote learning, Zoom, and Pivot became our norm. Today, we're facing an even bigger challenge, helping teachers and students bridge significant learning gaps, the latest side effect of the pandemic. Fewer than half of students, only 45%, passed their end-of-grade test last year. And for economically disadvantaged students, the pass rate dropped even further to just 29%. This shines a bright light on just how uneven the playing field is. 1 in 2 children in our community lives in poverty and can't afford the basic school supplies they need to learn, meaning they arrive at school empty-handed, leaving their teachers to self-fund the need or to otherwise figure it out. Research proves teachers are the most important factor in a child's ability to successfully learn. They're the most important school supply of all. But being an educator has never been more challenging. While teachers may appear superhuman, many are at their breaking point. Even in a good year, teaching is ranked as one of the most stressful jobs, putting it on the same level as emergency room nurses. The extra pressures of the last 2 years have caused many teachers to leave the profession for good. In September, Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools saw more than 500 teachers resign or retire in the first month of school, leaving those that remain doing more, foregoing their planning periods and lunch breaks, leaving the lesson plans, creation of inviting learning spaces, and grading of assignments for the end of an already really long day. But teachers are a caring bunch. They're in it for the students, which is why they'll continue to put in this extra effort, many going as far as spending an average of 2 paychecks per year to make it happen. Our small but mighty team of 9 employees were proud to have given away $6.8 million of free supplies last year, a record, I might add. But in this challenging time, we feel a responsibility to do more to support teachers, to make it easier for them to access what their students need while maximizing their time and caring for their own well-being. That's why we've just completed a major renovation of our facility, which allows us to operate our 4 core programs more efficiently than ever before, and once fully operational, will increase our community impact by 36%. More than that, it's a beautiful facility designed specifically with our teachers in mind, a space that symbolizes the value and importance that we place on them as professionals. In addition to a nicer free store, the facility will serve as a true hub for teachers, a place to collaborate and learn from one another through expert-led workshops and peer sharing. To maximize their time, we've launched a new mobile app and have made our online ordering with curbside pickup a permanent part of our service offering. For beginning teachers, those in their first year on the job, we're direct shipping supplies quarterly so their classrooms are fully equipped for student success. And lastly, our mobile unit is hitting the streets weekly to meet teachers where they are.
I've been shopping at Classroom Central since 2016, since I moved here from Connecticut. It's been an invaluable, I can't even put a number on it because it has subsidized what I would have spent on classroom supplies. It's been a great treasure, Classroom Central. I can't say enough about it.
The need now is worse than it has been in the past.
A lot of the students that we serve are unable to purchase supplies, especially throughout the school year. So it's great to have a stash of items and know that there's a place that can provide that stash of items. So if a kid comes in at the last minute, I can provide that for them very quickly.
Our kids go through a lot at home, so just even some paper and pencil really lifts them up.
Classroom Central gives me all kinds of free stuff that I can share with my kids, that I can share with teachers in my building, just stuff that we would normally probably be paying for out of pocket.
If we didn't have Classroom Central, I don't know, what we'd be able to provide.
It shows that they care about teachers because through the last 2 years, we really didn't know if people care because, it's just been so much put on us.
A burden off our backs, because as you know, teachers, we don't get paid a lot. So we go into our pockets a lot, and this really takes a load off of us financially.
So I just love them, and I think they are awesome, and I am super pumped to see this new store. So it's pretty cool.
I just love that they give for us, and I give back to the kids, because our babies, they don't have. So they always come to us for paper, pencils, and notebooks, everything, and that keeps them organized and prepared.
And I am super, super thankful for all of the things that they do here.
I really, really thank you guys. Y'all are God sent. Y'all are angels. Y'all just don't know how much y'all are really supporting and helping our kids succeed.
We give them what we can and do all the things that we can for them, but Classroom Central is a big part of providing for my kids.
I just want to say thank you to Classroom Central. You all are heaven sent.
Thank you so much for all that you do for educators. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
While distributing free supplies will always be at the heart of our mission, we know that teachers cannot pour into their students from an empty cup. That's why we've launched an initiative to support teachers' social and emotional well-being through virtual workshops and an online community. We aim to fill up teachers and their classrooms. Doing so will positively impact teacher retention rates, ensuring that every student has the opportunity of having an amazing teacher to learn from and to bond with. A sense of belonging has long been linked to students' attention and effort in learning. Teachers are key to helping students feel they belong at school, and 95% of our teachers report that having supplies improves student-teacher relationships. The impact that our programs produce goes far beyond pencils and paper. Classroom Central positively impacts student engagement, preparedness, and self-esteem, all of which point to long-term success. We're proud to share our updated brand that reflects the positive impact that we're making. Pencils do indeed lead to possibilities for our students to realize their true potential. This pandemic had us rethinking many things: our business model, our purpose, and most of all has strengthened our commitment to teachers and students. The innovations and changes that we've made strongly align with our vision: a world where every child has the supplies they need to learn and every teacher feels valued and supported. Our next speaker knows all too well about the challenges faced in our local schools. She's one of the most dedicated educators I know, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Regina Boyd, principal of University Park Creative Arts Elementary.
Fist bump. Have a good day.
The days are long for teachers. Days are long anyway for teachers. Let's just be very clear about that. You add the layer of the emotional impact of teaching in a pandemic, it's a lot. I would say the need is tremendous, if that could be a big enough word or put enough emphasis behind it, because of the fact over the last 2 years with the impact of the pandemic, We had to do some shifts with instruction. We were in school, we were out of school. So that meant we had to send things home. We had to send home notebooks and pens and crayons so that our scholars could be prepared to work at whatever their home workspace was. Everybody's kitchen table was not equal. So we were trying to set things so that there would be some equity amongst what the students had in terms of their tools for learning. So we sent home those things, crayons, notebooks, rulers, you name it. Now that we're back in the school, so we still send them home for them to do homework. So that's kind of a good trade-off. We've learned that if we supply some of those materials at home, the work product comes back in a manner that we want it to for success. Classroom Central has supported us here at this school with things like backpacks, supplies, notebooks, and it's just been a great partnership to help us fill in a gap so that I can give students what they need, send home what we need for parents, and most importantly for me, redirect funds in a different way. So everybody has had to pick up a piece of the pie to make education what it is. I don't know if it's ever going to be what it was, but what it is right now for us in terms of coming out of a pandemic. I'd say it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. There are more opportunities for us to exercise leadership and in areas that we hadn't planned for. You know, you're stopping to check in on a student, how are you doing? And then if they say, oh, somebody in my house has COVID, you have to stop and process with that child as to what that means, because everybody's experience is different. When we came back from being at home, you know, the transition from being at home, if you were at home and you were an only child at the kitchen table working with grandma, now you're in a classroom with 15, 16, 17, 20 other students, and it's learning how to use those social skills again. And our teachers help our students do all those transitions, in addition to the academic piece that they're trying to do. As an administrator, it's constantly just making sure that our staff, we're checking on them. You know, 3 simple words. Are you okay? How are you doing? Can I help you? Staffing, it is a challenge. We do have a staffing shortage here at our school, and that changes every day. So it just depends. We have our substitutes that come to us, but we also have a substitute shortage across the district. And it just requires me to jump in and fill in the gap when it's needed. So things that I've done, I've taught classes. I have also done things like help in the cafeteria when there's a shortage. And it's also been reassuring to watch our teachers. So I've got my PE teacher that does a small math group. I've got my band teacher that's teaching literacy. I've got my drama teacher who's stepping in. And what's the impact on teachers? So now teachers are getting students that have experienced learning loss, but their expectations are still high, right? They're still great teachers, but now they're working with their on grade level curriculum, as well as trying to fill in some things that maybe scholars did not master fully on a Zoom screen because it just wasn't that high level of engagement. Because you have to remember, our students that are now in 2nd grade, this is their first time in the building. So they were not in the building for kindergarten. They were not in the building for 1st grade. So they're walking through the door for the first time as a 2nd grader and not having those foundational social skills or all the things. There's this cute little poem, everything I learned in life, I learned in kindergarten, right? Cutting and socialization and where to put things and being responsible for my belongings. We weren't here for that group of students. And then for my middle school principals, you have to think about students that landed in 6th grade. Well, they weren't in school 5th grade, they weren't in school 4th grade, so they went just about straight from their 3rd grade year off to middle school. There's lots of things that happen socialization-wise in 4th and 5th grade. So it still goes on up if you repeat that same story up the K-12 pipeline. This year is harder. I don't know if it's harder because we're now back in school and there are some that, oh, we're back to normal. Not yet, not really. I don't know if it's harder because our teachers have such high standards of themselves, and they want to see the students further along than they are. When I talk to other principals, we're kind of at the top of our food chain in the building. So we're the ones that everybody's, oh, I'm not feeling well, or oh, a family member died from COVID. And depending upon whether they want to share that or not, it lands here. It lands here, right? It lives in my heart. It lives here. It's a challenge to balance everything that's put here in my heart so that I can continue to show up and be a safe space for students. You know, I'm an optimist, so I think the future is bright. The future looks good. I'm gonna say we're coming out of this, we're coming out, and we've learned a lot. We've learned that we have another skill set. We have things that we didn't do in this way. So we've had some challenges, but challenges create opportunities, and opportunities create growth. So regardless of what happens, our students are resilient. They are gonna come in this building, they're gonna give you a smile, they're gonna give you a hug, they're gonna say things like, I love you, it's happy to see you. You know, you're gonna get that unconditional love. We just have to be ready to continue to keep the bar high and push them, and they will rise to the occasion.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. And because of you and educators like you, the future is brighter. I'm Bill Meeker, and I'm the board chair for Classroom Central. This organization has a deep meaning for me. By now, you know that we celebrate our 20-year anniversary of our first teacher shopping experience. I've had the pleasure of being a partner to this organization for almost half of that time. So I feel deeply vested in our history and where we've been and what we aim to achieve. For me, it started as a leader at Bank of America and organizing with my colleagues pencil pouch and STEM kit assemblies. I now work for the Center for Intentional Leadership, providing leadership development to some of the top educators in our community, where I hear them constantly and consistently voice the importance of Classroom Central and what impact it has on their lives. For my spouse, Suzanne, and I, we are honored to share that our two children, Billy and Sierra, are graduates of CMS Public Schools, and they are now on to their own successful careers post-college, and both can point to specific teachers who made a meaningful difference in their lives. The message I want to leave you with is this: I don't know of any other organization that has a greater return on its dollar. In the past year, for a staff of 9 individuals and a few hundred dedicated volunteers, this team has distributed over $6.8 million of school supplies amidst a challenging pandemic environment. Truly remarkable. But I'm more excited for what's to come. We've made a promise to contribute to grow distributions, but we've also made a commitment to do that while delivering new programming that serves educators in a purposeful way, that serves their mental and emotional wellness and creates an increased sense of community. Now more than ever, this is what they need. No, it's what they deserve. That's why we have an ambitious goal of raising $350,000 at today's event. And with your gift, we can fulfill our promise to teachers and students. We want to share with you details about our Society for Excellent Education. A few years ago, we launched a giving society, the Society for Excellent Education, otherwise known as SEED, as an organization that is 100% funded from philanthropic gifts, meaning we get no government funding or United Way support. We wanted to establish a stable base of funding to support our daily operation. SEED members not only provide financial support, but are also trusted thought leaders in our network. I am excited to share that we have a special announcement for today's event. Jennifer and Ross M. Levin, who are inaugural members of Society for Excellent Education and huge supporters of Classroom Central's mission, are providing a generous match for every new SEED member who joins today. They will match dollar for dollar the first year's SEED gift for everyone who joins. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Whether you join me and Suzanne and Ross and Jennifer as members of the SEED Giving Society, or if you prefer to give a one-year gift today, what matters most to me is you feel a small sense of the passion towards the mission as I do. With your help, I'm confident that we are coloring a brighter future for our children and educators in this community. I want to tell you a little bit about the Giving Society levels, which are meant to give you a sense of what your contribution could do. The first giving level is $1,000, which would equip one classroom with basic tools, like pencils and notebooks, to support in-school and at-home learning for an entire year. The next giving level, which is $2,500, is a gift at this level will reduce teachers' stress by supporting our mobile-free store, which brings much-needed resources right to their door. The next giving level, $5,000, allows us to develop new innovative programs as the need arises, programs such as this year's beginning teacher subscription service and the development of our mobile app. The final giving level is $10,000. And if you feel strongly that every child should have the supplies they need to learn, and every teacher should feel valued and supported, your gift of $10,000 will bring this vision into reality. Now, if you select the Donate Now button on your screen, the online form will appear. Starting at the top of the form, you'll see the gift levels for becoming a member of SEED, our Society for Excellent Education. For those of you who choose to join our Giving Society, SEED, by making this a gift for 5 years, please select your gift among the scroll down to Join SEED and click the button to indicate yes. We also respect that you may prefer to give a one-time gift, so you would choose your gift amount and leave Join SEED unchecked. We truly appreciate whatever level of support you find meaningful. As you are completing the form, please know that whatever you give, we sincerely appreciate your support of the educators and students we serve. Now, when you're finished, please select the Next button, highlighted in blue, to provide your information and click the Donate button when you're done. Thank you for demonstrating your support of our community's teachers and students. You're showing them that we care. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. We'd like to give a special thank you to our table captains for helping contribute to the success of this event today. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Harris Teeter, and all of our generous event sponsors. And most importantly, thank you for joining us and for coloring a brighter future.
Thank you, Classroom Central.
Thank you, Classroom Central.
Thank you, Classroom Central. Thank you, Classroom Central.